Like my favorite Stargate character, Captain James T. Kirk, once said, "May the Force be with you."
Like my favorite Star Wars character, Captain Kirk, has always said, I aim to misbehave.
We are not going to panic.
What the heck even happened to you, man?
Vengeance.
Shrimp Daddy! Ha 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 ha!
Give him a hockey stick!
What am I, a fucking magician, man?
Am I some kind of fucking magician, man?
Fucking nerd.
Whatever. It's not like we're professionals anyway.
And I'm not sorry anymore.
Time to big brain.
Every day, yes.
What is the airwolf of trains?
Greetings, gooners everywhere. Welcome to episode 136 of the Laser Comb Podcast, the show where we comb through random episodes of classic TV with a fine-tooth laser. I am, as always, the youngest man alive, Christopher Siege, one of your hosts.
And I am the one of the men alive of time, NeoCal.
One of many.
Well, one of many, not even of all time. Of time.
You haven't gone to your beach yet.
No.
Or did you come? Or did you go to your beach and you were able to come back in through the tar pits?
Does this have something to do with being a mammoth or Death Stranding?
Why not both?
Why not both?
Why not mammoths in Death Stranding? I've been playing Death Stranding too, and I'm only about 10 hours into it. There could be tar mammoths.
There could be tar mammoths? Tarmouths?
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure the first one had a tar whale, so why not a tar mammoth in the second one?
One of those makes a lot more sense than the other. Weird that there's a tar whale, but not a tar mammoth.
Well, I was going to leave people in suspense and be like, we'll let you decide which one makes more sense than the other.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You decide whether an animal that lives in the ocean would get stuck in tar, which, as far as I know, exclusively exists on land.
Well, tar can also be a way back from your beach if you have chose not to stay there. Yeah.
Wow. Tar is also a robot with a wonky monolith robot from Interstellar.
There's also a character mentioned in this episode that we're about to review named Tarn.
Coincidence? Actually, yes.
I very awkwardly kind of brought it back because we were getting a little off in the weeds there by
thank God,
by all fault of my own, admittedly. Yeah.
Boo earns. Boo this man. Yeah, what are we doing here today?
So today, on this episode of the Laser Comb Podcast, this is the final installment of round one of this month's programming block, Space Shit. We'll probably, I have a feeling we're going to come back to space shit.
Probably.
We'll have a space shit too.
Nebula
Boogaloo, and a space shit 3. Still shitting in space.
Space shit 4, the last shit. All right. We're doing a Battlestar.
This is the final installment of this month's theme, Space Shit. So far, Space Shit I think has been a resounding success. It's been a pretty good collection of shows that we've covered so far. Also, the views and the downloads are quite high on these episodes, much higher than usual. Yeah.
So we're on to something.
I think we might be on to something. So far, we've done Babylon 5,
Mhm.
the classic J. Michael Straczynski ripoff of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
How dare.
I'm that was me like poking the bear, poking the bear of that fan base a little bit. We've done Space Above and Beyond, which was fucking great. Literally one of the best things we've covered on this show so
Right?
far.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
and we've done Lex, which was an interesting show.
It was
Well-
very interesting, and I'm glad we reviewed it.
I mentioned on the last episode that I wasn't going to tune into it again, but I'm glad I saw it. Very interesting show, a little too Cronenbergian and sexually exploitative for my liking.
Mhm.
But yeah, fascinating watch. And we're rounding out Space Shit with a pick of mine, the legend itself, legendary series from the 2000s, Battlestar Galactica. Now, Battlestar Galactica began as a two-part miniseries that aired, I think, in the summer of 2003, and which led to a full series proper that lasted for 4 seasons that ran from 2004 to 2009. I came into Battlestar Galactica around 2007 or so.
Okay.
I think I jumped into it in the 3rd season or 2nd season, maybe. I can't remember. But it was already about halfway through its run by the time I came across it. I really liked this show way back, and yeah, Battlestar Galactica is a reboot of a TV show from the late 70s that was a very blatant Star Wars ripoff. And indeed, even watching the reboot series with that knowledge, you can still see the DNA, I feel, of like some of the Star Warsness of it.
Okay.
For instance, like the dogfighting in space, a bunch of little ships like flying around big ships like shooting at each other, and the Cylons in this show, they're these like big, like not very humanoid looking, like big, like metallic robots.
Well, they're humanoid in the sense that they're bipedal and they have.
Well, they're bipedal, yeah. But I just mean they don't necessarily have like human proportions. Whereas in the original show, the Cylons kind of just looked like stormtroopers.
I imagine it was easier to make people look like robots than make.
Well, I mean, they didn't have CGI in the 70s, but like my point is like the original design of the Cylons was very, very influenced by the stormtroopers from Star Wars.
In this, I noticed they went very unique. So kudos to making them look unique for a show in the 2000s when like robots have been done to death.
Right. Well, and so the reboot was created by Ronald D. Moore, who was one of the head writers on Star Trek The Next Generation. He was the showrunner for a lot of Star Trek Deep Space Nine during the Dominion arc, which is what most people would consider to be the best seasons of that show. He also wrote the screenplay for Star Trek First Contact, one of the best Star Trek movies, in my opinion.
Right. We noticed that when we were rolling the episode, or at least I did when I looked it up after.
I had pointed it out on air on the last episode, but I just wanted to elaborate a little bit further on that. Yeah, so that's about I feel like we can just jump right into it here.
Probably,
the episode that we landed on, oh geez, I don't even have the Wikipedia page open. It is the second episode of season 2.
Yes.
Hang on, let me bring this up. Let me battle the stars
17?
for Galactica. For the right, we got to fight for our right to party.
To party.
Oh, Battlestar Galactica was also followed up by
Ooh,
a
excuse me.
prequel series that only lasted one season called Caprica.
I heard about right. Then that's the planet that I don't know much about. What is going on? I do know that I landed on an episode where it was like previously on Battlestar Galactica, a bunch of like obvious like turning points and spoilers for blah blah blah, and I was like, huh, well, that's the name of the game.
Right?
It was like this interesting thing and this interesting thing and this interesting thing. And I was like, huh. But because none of it really means anything to me, like I'll probably forget it easily enough, maybe.
The prequel series Caprica, as I mentioned, yeah, I remember watching it. I remember it not being that great.
Well, if there's only one season.
It was also at a time where the Sci-Fi Network, the Sci-Fi Channel, because Battlestar Galactica was a Sci-Fi original. It was also at a time like in the early 2010s where I think they had some like leadership changes, and like the new regime there pretty much axed most original scripted content and pivoted toward reality shows. So,
right. Yeah, I kind of fell off before that era of cable.
So I think that's why Caprica was canceled. I don't think it was necessarily had to do with the show's quality or ratings. It was just a new mandate from the higher ups. And indeed, I'm looking at the TV ratings for Caprica, and they were pretty decent.
Oh, okay.
And they remained pretty decent throughout its entire run. Also, there was a chick on that show who was really cute.
How dare.
I know. That was why I was watching back then, personally. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know I was a big Battlestar Galactica fan. The basic gist of Battlestar Galactica is it exists in a solar system that's known as the 12 colonies. It's 12 different planets.
Okay, I figured this wasn't the Sol system.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's
on account that there's a planet called Caprica.
There's a planet called Caprica.
Yeah,
it's a planet. A planet called Caprica. There's a planet. Another planet that we visit in this episode is the planet Cobol. We're on Caprica for a lot of this episode, actually.
Okay, I figured because there was like an implication that they lost a planet, but there were still like people just kind of wondering about. So this is far enough in the future that humanity has colonized another star system. Or no? Yeah.
No.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say is no.
Oh, okay.
You're not right about that one.
Okay.
But if I elaborated any further, I'd be getting into some like deep level spoiler territory.
That's fair. I know that at least two people want me to check out the movie, the pre-episode, the
miniseries.
Miniseries. That's the thing I'm looking for. The miniseries. And I think I will, but that's separate from my review of this episode.
So what Battlestar Galactica is about is the 12 colonies. Among them are Caprica and Cobol. I can't remember the names of the others. It's been before.
I'll tell you what the episode's about. The robots on the ship.
Well, I'm talking about. I'm about to get into the plot of the show itself. Not quite the episode.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 12 colonies. Sometime in the past, I think it's 60 years before the beginning of the series, humanity had created a race of robot servants called Cylons.
Why would
Now-
they do such a thing?
Now, in typical sci-fi fashion, the Cylons became self-aware and rose up against their creators, and a big old war started that lasted, I think, for 20 years.
Why do you let the robots get to a position where if they rise up, they have enough power to overthrow you? Like, think about that.
Because Doge wasn't one of the areas that Doge decided to make cuts.
Oh,
Yeah,
only DEI, not the robot, not the Space Force.
yeah, not the Space Force.
Yeah, I should have known.
So a war lasted between humanity and the Cylons for several years. All of a sudden, kind of out of nowhere, the Cylons decided to just end the war.
Oh,
They're like, it wasn't even a surrender or anything. They just fucked off. The Cylons just fucked off, and at the beginning of the series, no one has seen or heard from the Cylons for like 20 years, I think, at this point. Until the Cylons launch a full-scale assault against the entire 12 colonies by bombing every single planet, starting with the capital planet, Caprica. This forces this forces humanity from the 12 colonies to flee all of their planets into space, where they spend the remainder of the series essentially as basically as a migrant colony, like traveling through space, trying to elude the Cylons.
Interesting, huh?
Another wrinkle in all of this is now some Cylons look like humans.
Motherfucker, the deep state. I
And
knew they were lizard people.
And not in a like Terminator kind of way, where it's like living tissue over metal
Living
endoskeleton.
tissue over
Over metal endoskeleton. No, the human form Cylons are actually like living like organic beings, but they are still machines. Essentially, what the Cylons wanted to do,
They made like
they
clones.
wanted to become their creators, basically. And
How would they? Huh, interesting. Okay.
I don't know. The show gets into it more. I haven't watched through this show since it originally aired, which was
my allergies make me yawny. I'm not so bored that I'm falling asleep. I get too much allergen, which makes me yawn a lot. My eyes watery.
Yeah, my eyes are kind of watering right now too. Anyway, that's kind of the gist of Battlestar Galactica. The Battlestar Galactica is named as such for the capital ship of the fleet.
I figured, yeah.
It was a ship that was on the verge. That was actually when the war broke out, when like the attack on the colonies happened. The Battlestar Galactica had been decommissioned and was actually being turned into a museum. And one of the reasons why
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, one of the reasons why the Galactica becomes kind of the head ship of the fleet is because it's so old, it doesn't really have any like advanced networking technology, which makes it immune from the Cylons being able to like cyber attack it.
Oh, interesting.
That's why there's a lot of like analog tech in this show. Is because humanity, like once the Cylons once the Cylons went insane, humanity kind of took a step back and we're like, oh, we've got to go back to like more analog technology that they can't hack into.
Yeah, I'd imagine fighting robots that have access to and are made from the most advanced human technology would put humans at a considerable disadvantage.
Totally, yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so that explains a couple questions in this episode.
That's kind of the gist of like the basic plot of what's going on. Some of the characters in the show, we have Commander Adama, who's the military head of the fleet. He is injured. He is unconscious throughout this entire episode.
That he's like kind of on life. Kind of life support. Yeah, he's He's recovering.
He's recovering. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have his son, who's like the lead like fighter pilot, basically. Apollo Adama, played by the
Nice.
great
Named
Jamie
after my
Bamber.
cat.
Played by the great Jamie Bamber, who's an actor I'm quite fond of. Thought he was going to become a lot bigger than he did. Anyway, we also have Commander, the XO of the ship, Commander Saul, Colonel, not Commander, Colonel Saul Ty, who is the bald guy, played by the great Michael Hogan, who's a voice you would probably recognize from Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2 and 3, and he's done voices in a few other video games. He's not in that great of health these days, from what I was reading. Apparently, back in like 2020, he suffered a fall at a convention and hit his head, and it basically left him like paralyzed on one side.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. Who else do we have? We have President MILF herself. Interesting story with her when
That's Madam President MILF to you.
Madam President MILF. I can't. Her name's Laura, I think. I can't remember what her last name is though. But anyway,
President Caprica.
Her story is kind of interesting because she, although being a politician, I think she was the Minister of Education. She was literally a school teacher. She was the minister of like education in the 12 colonies. She becomes president because so much of the leadership was killed in the Cylon sneak attack that she became the person who had to be sworn in as president because everyone else like above her was dead.
Man, imagine so many people above you were killed that a teacher becomes president.
Imagine being like a cashier at a grocery store and all of a sudden you become like
battleship commander.
You become CEO like overnight just because everyone else like is dead.
Yeah, and you know how or like what is it? You have played video games before, so now you're one of the fighter pilot.
Yeah, there you go.
I'd be like, oh shit. You played at least one shooter before, right? You're hired. Here's your gun with one explosive round.
Use it on yourself.
Or on a Cylon, whatever.
Or on a Cylon. We have
But if you miss.
We have the bridge comms officer, Mr. Gata, who is actually one of my
There's
favorite.
So many characters.
Who is actually one of my favorite characters on the show, but we see him in this episode, but we only see him, I think, in like one scene. We have Billy, who is he's the president. He's President MILF's chief of staff, I think. I think he was just like he was just like her assistant or something before.
Is that like the kind of like round faced guy that's like trying to make up with his girlfriend?
Yeah, the young guy in the suit. Yeah, Billy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Billy. And his girlfriend, who was, I think she's a navigations officer on the bridge, or is she the comms officer? I can't remember. She does something on the bridge, but her name's Dee.
She's way out of his league. Like a dark skin, like green eyes, like come on.
I love Billy and Dee as a couple in this show.
Okay.
There's like they have their ups and downs in this show from what I remember, but they're so fucking cute together. So that's the core cast we have on the Battlestar. Elsewhere, over on Caprica, we have Starbuck, played by the great Katie Sackhoff, and we have Hilo, played by a guy whose name I can't remember, but a guy who I ran into in Subway once about 15 years ago.
Shit, you ran into Battlestar Galactica guy?
He was ahead of me in line at Subway. He was like right beside me and my girlfriend at the time. And she like looks over and she was like, "Hey, come over here." She's like, "That's Hilo." I was like, "Oh yeah, so it is." So we go back and get in line. And as he's paying and about to leave, I was just like, hey man, love Battlestar Galactica. He's like, oh, thanks. And that was the extent of the interaction that we had.
I think that's the best way to have handled that. Yeah.
Totally, yeah. That's anytime I've run into like anyone like relatively famous, it's usually just if I say anything to them at all, which I don't always, I'll usually just like give them a nod or like I'll just be like, hey, I love your work. Hey, I like that show you were in.
What I do is I immediately point and scream the character that they played that I know them from. Don't even humanize them.
And
I
then
don't say their actor's name. I just say, hey, look, it's 11 from Stranger Things.
And then you start like
and
jumping
then I pull
up and
out
down.
My phone.
You start jumping up and down and clapping and fangirling and talking about
and then
how
I
much you love
start
them.
filming them and taking selfies without their consent. That's what I do.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Over on the planet Kobol, we have rounding out the central cast of characters. We have Gaius Baltar, one of the most complex and interesting characters on the show. We don't see him much in this episode, but he does have this weird dream sequence where after he wakes up from the dream, we see a guy
named Gaius Baltar would. He would.
Yeah. He has a weird dream and then wakes up and we see a hallucination of his
dream of like Captain Battlestar Galactica, like drowning babies.
Yeah. And he has after he wakes up, he has a vision quest of his human form Cylon girlfriend 6.
Does he have another vision? Oh, I thought that was a vision quest. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not actually Trisha Helfer, like talking to him. Yeah, she's not actually there. It's in his head.
Yeah, I thought so because I'm like, he's filthy and covered in blood, and she's like wearing a pristine, kind of sexy, like white dress. Her hair is like perfect.
Yeah,
right. And I'm like, is this real? I don't think this is real. I think this is a dream and a vision quest inside of an enigma, wrapped in a. They were unconscious all along.
The other main
wrapped in a coma.
The other main characters on that team on the planet Kobol are Chief and what's her name, Callie, the girl that he's with.
Yeah, that chick.
I had a huge thing for her when I was younger.
I could see that.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the core cast. This episode of Battlestar Galactica that we're going to be talking about today, courtesy of the old random number generator, totally on the first roll, I pinky swears, is Season 2, Episode 2, Episode 15 overall, Valley of Darkness, which originally aired on July 22nd of 2005, 20 years ago. And,
wowzers.
When watching this episode, oh boy, is it from the 2000s. I had forgotten about some there were certain sensibilities in
it felt
there was a particular way that a lot of prestige dramas in the 2000s were shot.
Yes.
Very film grain galore, film grain added to the picture. Very high exposure to the point that anything with light on it is basically white.
I thought I had a shit copy.
Nope. No,
but then I started remember throughout the show when there were normal scenes, I'd go, oh, right. The huge contrast, the background basically being completely unlit versus being blinded by the light was just a thing.
That high exposure look was very in the 2000s. It was in movies and TV. As well. Movies were
also
really
all of the actors kind of look like 2000s drama. Actors and the directorial direction was from that era.
I was going to bring up the direction too. Lots of extreme close-ups of people's faces.
Almost infuriatingly so.
Too close.
Yeah.
And indeed,
This is the era that was made fun of for anyone younger watching in movies too, but TV shows maybe worse than movies.
And a shaky cam look. Not necessarily shake. I used to what I used to
Not
refer
found footage shaky cam. Thank God.
what I used to refer to it as was bystander perspective.
Oh yeah,
I used to call it
I like
bystander
that.
perspective because the camera would actually move around like a person was looking around, and it would kind of shake like a
I
person was
don't mind
walking.
that because it's when it gets to found footage,
Yeah.
like the movie, like any of the movies during that era. You know, the 2000s, just like the found footage horror genre following the Blair Witch Project.
Mm.
I know a
I,
lot of people that can't even watch those movies.
I like some found footage films, but
I like some.
yeah. Anyway,
Also, I can hold the camera way steadier with my phone. So those shaky cams, they have no excuses.
that's right. But yeah, so the point is, yeah, there was a certain way that like a lot of TV and movies were shot around this time. The Shield is shot exactly like this, with that like bystander perspective.
That's a good example.
The
Almost exclusively shot like that.
no, it is exclusively shot like that. Instead of like static angles, it will be like a camera looking around to like focus on other things instead of like
Yeah.
instead of like still shots that are carefully edited. It's just more like a lot of like moving like camera angles, and like the camera will kind of wobble. And yeah, the whole like high exposure, film grain, all of that. The Shield very much was shot like this. And yes, watching this episode yesterday really like took me back. I'm like, oh yeah, half of TV was shot like this back then. That's right.
Yeah, and I know it's to show off the I don't know.
It was just the style at
People,
the time.
1080p was out, man. You got to show off the pores and the acting chops up close. But I don't know. We watched.
1080p. Not really. No. This was
When was
still
this again?
This was still the 2005. This was
It
about
was
the
like mid to late. Well, yeah, you're right.
no about the best you could do at this point was still 720p.
It was within the next few years.
Within a couple of years. It wasn't long
Good.
after this that we started getting 1080p, but
Because I know
full
that's
HD.
when I got my first TV, and it lasted 20. It lasted like 15 years. Wait,
yeah, it was
no,
like
I still have it.
it was like
Am I
literally within like 2 years after this that like
Okay,
HD
okay.
TVs like exploded.
But yeah, we just watched Space Above and Beyond, and
It is not shot like this
it is not shot like this.
because it predates the show by a decade.
It lets you sit with people talking,
Right.
and it will cut and show like one of them talking, or do an angle where the person talking is in the foreground and the other person's, but it lets you sit without cutting every 5 seconds or zooming in or whatever, with both actors on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I didn't realize it at the time, but I realize it now talking about this with you. I feel like not cutting every 5 seconds is like a thing of the past. Like just like leaving the camera and like letting people letting two actors like do a fucking scene without like cutting every 5 to 10 seconds or less. I don't know.
Cutting
It
for an
worked
extreme
that show.
Cutting for an extreme close up on their face as they emote.
Yeah,
To
is that
something.
necessary? Did we ever need that?
I don't think we did, but again, this is just. I was reminded of it watching this episode. This is how a lot of shows were shot back then, and
But what do we know? We are just but humble critics.
we are but humble. Well, we're critics. I don't know about humble. I certainly am not. I can't speak for you, but
yeah, what's the gist? Because there's
So-
a lot going on different planets /
We have three things going on in this
Okay.
episode. We have what is going on the Battlestar Galactica, the titular ship itself,
Yeah, that's the stuff I was interested in.
which is under siege by Cylon invaders. And it's about
That actually got on board.
that actually the Galactica has been boarded by Cylon Centurion drones, and we follow two teams as they're like trying to navigate away. One of them
In
is
the
trying
bridge, yeah.
and the bridge, yeah, and what's going on the bridge. We have what is going on Caprica, which is a bunch of stuff. It's just character stuff between Hilo and Starbuck, which this episode, if you have the like pretext for knowing what kind of character Starbuck was throughout the entire
This
show
is a
leading
serial-
up to this point.
A lot of this is, I bet this would be really cool if I knew what the fuck was going on.
Well, there's the stuff on Caprica is basically just character development for Starbuck, and like
I figured.
kind of just showing you like different sides of her than we've seen before.
I figured,
it's
yeah.
whatever. Even knowing like what Starbuck is as a character, I couldn't give two shits about this. What's going on with that subplot in this episode. And we also have survivors on the planet Kobol, which is Gaius Baltar and a small military team, including the aforementioned Chief and Callie. And some stuff happens there. It's good. It's good drama, but it's basically they're a team. One of their guys has been injured. Chief had to go get a med kit to save him in the previous episode. He took too long. A guy named Tarn died along the way, but he gets back with the med kit. But
And
it
it was
turns
all
out
for naught because the guy's going to die anyway.
it was all for naught because the guy was going to die anyway. So they basically euthanize him so he doesn't suffer.
Yeah. Well, what do? They just give him a morphine overdose, so at least he just doesn't feel pain.
Yeah, they OD him on morphine, so he just passes out and dies.
Which, if there's any way to go, that's probably the way.
It is the way, yes. It is probably the best way of going about that. I liked that stuff on the planet, but
I liked that, but again, because I'm not connected to any of it, I was all like, "Oh man, is that guy important?" But even if that guy was important or was a side character, I still feel like that was an interesting showcase of the other characters.
yeah, it
The
was
bald guy with scars on his face, I'm like, Commander Shepard? But no, the guy with the med kit that came back was like their chief.
Yeah, he was Chief, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big character in the show.
Yeah, and I think I see why you did that there. You addressed the yada yada with those the character development with the two characters. They hang out, they smoke a doobie, she puts on a jacket, they steal her car, something like that. And then there's the soldiers on the planet side, and they deal with that.
Mhm.
And the reason we kind of yada yada that, or I'm glad you yada yada that, is because where things are mostly taking place and the things that matter for somebody that's never seen any of the show is on the ship.
The stuff that's happening on the ship is all plot. It's all plot driven stuff. Whereas the stuff that's going on Caprica and the stuff that's going on Kobol, that's just character development, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So I felt like it was good to kind of just like quickly like summarize that, and then we can just kind of focus on like what's actually going on the Galactica.
Good call. So what ends up happening is very quickly the power gets cut.
Mm-hmm.
And what they've realized is the Cylons have split into two teams.
Yeah.
One is going for the like emergency defense system, the munitions, basically, to either blow up or I don't know why. And the other is going for some sort of control part of the ship, so that they can basically space all of the atmosphere from the ship because they're robots.
Yeah. We don't find
And
it
I'm
out
like,
right.
yeah, it's pretty smart.
We don't find it out right away, but on one of the scenes on the bridge with Colonel Tai, who is the XO of the ship, the executive officer, but he's in temporary command right now because Commander Adama is laid up at the moment. He takes a look at like basically like where the Cylons like entered the ship and is like,
Right.
like-
His experience with them has been like, okay, right, because they don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
But he stops and he kind of uses his like knowledge from the war,
he's like
being like, okay, if I was robots,
I've seen these bastards do this before. They're going to go here, and once they get here, they're going to
fucked.
they're going to vent the atmosphere from the ship and kill us all. When you're robots who don't have to breathe, it's a really smart way to get rid of your
that's a
enemy.
smart, right? And as we quickly find out, this is at least in the very least, this is a good episode if you're just randomly watching to be like, holy shit, these things are dangerous. Because not only are they dangerous and they can easily take 1, 2, 10, infinite number of like humans, they're essentially like standard weapon proof.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're created with such a degree that it's only their armor-piercing explosive rounds that can put them down.
And it has to be a headshot.
And it has to be a head, because as we see in a later shot, you take out like the lower body. The upper body's still like fucking spiky and like wild and still like moves just as fast without its legs.
Yeah.
So I will give the episode credit. Like, holy shit, does it do a really good job of depicting how fucking dangerous they are. It is kind of funny that it turns into a video game where it's like we only have enough five ammo. Or not video, like that part of being all like they're looking for ammo throughout their adventure.
Yeah.
This is the part that confuses me. They spread out the rounds among the strike force. And there's nameless strike force people, so you know they're going to die. Instead of giving them to the best shot.
I did find that so when they go
you get one and you get one, and one of the pilots is, or one of the guys is like, I've only shot a gun when I was like 10.
When they eventually get to when Apollo's team gets to the munitions lockup, they find like an engineer, like a crewman, just hiding in there.
Yeah, and he's all like, "Whoa, I just got here."
All they find left, because they figure out that the armory has been raided already by other strike teams.
Yeah.
All they have left are 5 of these explosive rounds, and there are 6 of them in total. It did seem like kind of a weird choice that Apollo, who is like one of the best like soldiers in the fleet, Apollo, instead of taking one of those rounds for himself, he gives one of those rounds to the guy who doesn't shoot for a living.
Yeah. So I thought there were 5 of them and there were 6 rounds and he took 2. That's no. And he's like, okay, I'll take the reload.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, there's not a lot of ammo.
There were 5 rounds left, and I thought he gave all of like 1 round to each of them, including engineer guy.
Engineer guy has 1, and he has like an extra one. Like I think there were 5 people, and he took 2. But regardless, the only way is like with headshots. I find it really weird that they wouldn't just give them all to the one guy.
Yeah.
Because somebody's shaking or shooting too early. Also, they're like, okay, just wait until I give the order to shoot. No, because what if you all shoot at the same target?
We have jumped ahead.
There is bad tactics going on here, despite the fact that they're with the strike force.
We have jumped ahead. We have jumped ahead a little bit.
Okay.
Prior to this, where we find out that President Milf is imprisoned, because she had tried to. They say she tried to start a mutiny. The details are pretty hazy, but from what I remember, at the end of the first season, Adama, basically her and Commander Adama, Adama wanted to do one thing. She didn't like that idea. She thought it was too risky or something. She wanted to do something else. So she tried to seize military control of the fleet, not just presidential control. Not just presidential authority, but she tried to seize military control of the fleet as well from Commander Adama. That's from what I remember. So
that kind of seemed in the very beginning. It's previously on, and it does a flashback. Yeah, and Apollo, or maybe I'm mixing up people. Recap. It seemed like he sided with Madam President.
Apollo, he sided with President MILF. Madam President MILF. I don't blame him. I don't either. What did you? What were your thoughts on Madam President?
She alright. She alright.
Yeah.
Now put glasses on her.
The glasses are definitely a positive multiplier.
Right.
But yeah,
the blazer and skirt. Yeah.
She looks like a school teacher.
Exactly.
Not any school teacher I had, mind you, but
I had some attractive school teachers growing up.
I had one. I only ever had one university professor that I thought was hot, and she was just this. She was a digital media teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of my other teachers were, and she was I don't know, probably early 40s from what I remember. But most of my other teachers were either women in their 60s or old dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
What about the young, cool instructor who pulls up a chair backwards, and he's all all right, let me talk to you all like adults and equals. You ever have any?
He pulls up a chair and turns it around backwards and does the Riker over it and says to the class, he's as I walk through the valley, through the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left.
And you're holy shit. I signed up for the right class.
I know, right? Apollo decides to take a strike team, to go and meet up with the Cylons. They encounter President MILF in jail, who is locked up, and she tells her guard, she's let me out of here. He's I can't do that, Madam President. She's the Cylons are coming, and by God, I'm not going to die behind bars. And
he's gonna get killed like a rat. Yeah.
And he's you know what? That's fair.
You've convinced me. And I'm good to see there's a lot of military protocol going on in this place.
In this
military. It kind of feels like everyone's just wandering around making shit up as they go.
That's kind of one of the themes of the show, honestly.
I'm there for it. That was a selling point. And I'm okay, it's good to know that. And there's a conversation later between in charge bald guy and Apollo where he's oh, you're not suited for that uniform. And he's you know what? Neither are you.
Yeah, you're probably right, but neither are you.
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he's but I guess we'll find out when Dad wakes up.
So Colonel Ty, he throughout the show is quite an asshole. He's a nuanced character, but he's quite an asshole. He's also a drunk, a raging alcoholic, drunk on duty all the time. So even though he's the XO, he doesn't really get a lot of respect from the crew. So Apollo and his team, they encounter Madam President and the soldiers with her, and they're they get radioed from the bridge from Colonel Ty telling the plan of what the Cylons are going to do. So Apollo. So he tells
Yeah,
Apollo,
it's kind of like, hey, we don't care how you do it. You need to stop them.
yeah,
Like, get. Oh, and by the way, just to like backdrop this more for anyone listening that's never seen the episode, as each there are two teams, right? One team, two team, or
they're
they
two
merge
teams.
into one. I can't
Well,
remember. Yeah, but they're gathering people as they go and witnessing all the carnage from the Cylons.
There's two teams. There's Apollo's team, and then there's Madam President and her guards team. They start off
Right.
separate. They meet up.
Yeah,
Apollo's team is like, we're gonna go. You guys go this way, because the president is like, oh, like where's the furthest away from like the fighting we can go? And they're like, he's like, okay, well, go to sick bay, go to like the med bay. It's like fortified to be like a shelter in times of crisis. That will be like the furthest. That will be the furthest from where all the shootings happening.
Mm-hmm.
And she, in a line that I thought was kind of funny, she's like, okay, well, where are you guys going? And he's like, towards where all the shooting's happening. I'm paraphrasing it a little bit, but it was just a line that I liked. He was basically like, okay, you guys get as far away from the gunfire as possible. Well, where are you going? Oh, we're going to the gunfire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they had find out that one of the Cylon, they were too late to getting to one area, or another strike team did eventually get one of the Cylon teams, but then they were wiped out like as well. And there's still one small group of Cylons that's coming, and they gotta like make it work with like their 4 shots or 5 shots or however many shots they have left. And again, give it to one guy who is competent and calm and a really good shot, so that he can shoot 5 times and potentially kill 5 Cylons, rather than giving them to 5 different people,
right?
And then like just seeing what happens. And it's like, oh, just don't fire until I say so. Don't fire until you see the red of their visors. That seems like a lot worse than just giving it to one competent dude, which feels like anybody would make that tactical choice, like giving it to like one of the guys who's trained for this, instead of like Shaky McShakerson and like I've never used a gun since I was like 10. Like at one point when they do meet up with
it was
that guy's girlfriend. It
was Billy. Apollo gives them guns. He tries to give the president a gun, and she's like, no, I can't. I don't fire guns. So he gives one to Billy, and he's like, well, have you ever shot one of these before? He's like, well, my grandpa's BB gun when I was like 10. He's like, yeah. And Apollo is like, same idea, just louder bang.
Yeah, just louder bang. And at one point, he's like, they meet up, and in the area where that guy's girlfriend is, she's left alive somehow. There's a lot of off-screen storytelling being done by the group coming in and seeing the carnage afterwards, which I think not just a budgetary thing, but is also like an interesting storytelling like mechanic of how dangerous and fast the Cylons are. But because they're moving fast, they do leave some survivors behind here or there.
It's also a big ship too, so like
yeah,
you have to assume there's going to be a lot going on besides just like the action that we're following at this exact moment.
That's a good point. Yeah Simultaneous.
Yeah.
And indeed, there are times when you can hear like gun fights, like firefights, happening in like adjacent like modules or sectors of the ship, like echoing throughout the ship, which I thought was a good and interesting take. So the guy's girlfriend is found, but she's like, oh, what was her name? But she's
D.
like
D.
She's
D. She has a concussion. She's kind of just sitting there like almost like catatonic.
That's the word, yeah.
Catatonic, and they try and like shake this other chick awake.
She's seen some shit, yeah.
Who is like laying on the ground, and D is just calmly just like, oh, she stopped breathing a long time ago.
Right.
And so like Billy is like trying to shake her out of it. By the way, earlier in the episode, it established that they had like kind of a thing going on, but Dee was mad at Billy because
Yeah.
because of the whole like mutiny thing, the attempted like mutiny
And
slash
he's like, hey,
coup.
that's kind of harsh. And she's all like, you're right, sorry, bye.
Yeah.
And they never really got a chance to make it up.
So he tries to like shake her awake, and she's not responding. And Madam President is like, "Oh, try using her rank and last name." And so he refers to her as like, "Oh, Lieutenant blah blah." And
He's like, 10 Hut Lieutenant Johnson, wake up right now.
and
They
that
only got steers and queers down in
and that actually like
Africa.
that actually like shakes her out of it a little bit. Although it's mentioned that she probably has a concussion. And she's just like, "Oh, Billy. Oh, I'm really glad you're here." So she's not completely with it right now.
That felt a little bit like, I've heard this happens on the battlefield, and I've watched Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, right.
But
This
they
wasn't that
tried.
long after Saving Private Ryan, really. Saving
Yeah.
Private Ryan was only like 6 or 7 years before this.
Something like that.
Which, as we get older, man, 6 or 7 years doesn't really feel as long as it used to.
Hey man, I still use the Saving Private Ryan gif of Matt Damon like slowly aging to
Yeah.
an old man, and every year that gif becomes truer and truer.
Mm-hmm. So what else is happening? So what's going on with Apollo's team is, yeah, they're heading to intercept the Cylon. They head to the munitions locker. We talked about that scene already.
Yeah.
From there, they're going to like intercept the Cylons. Madam President's team, the president and Billy and like the soldier boy with them. They're trying to get to like the sick bay, like Apollo told them to go, but they keep running into obstacles. Like either a door is sealed or, oh, there's Cylons this way, so it keeps
Right.
becoming like
Their end is more survival horror.
their end is more like just survival. Like, hey, like, oh shit, we're trying to get here. Oh, this way is blocked. Soldier, what's another way we can take to get there? Oh, this way. We'll go through this corridor. This will
Crawl
take
through
us
the
there.
vent.
And what ends up happening is them having to like constantly detour, for one reason or another, ends up leading them back to Adama's team, where Apollo Adama's team is trying to take out the Cylons, and they end up meeting up again. And yeah, a big shootout happens. The Cylons are destroyed. The
strike team, which are the red shirts, the people trained for this, get gunned down before they can shoot their one explosive round.
Yeah. And the engineer guy is just like, haha, those motherfuckers don't look so big now, do they? Woo!
Woo!
And
I'm like, there's like 4 dead people next to you.
Well, and indeed, Apollo is like, they still look pretty big, or something like that. And then the camera like looks down, and there's like 4 like dead people.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's got an interesting sense. Yeah, I kind of like that character.
There's a lot of good characters on this show. This is a character drama.
Okay, I figured so, and that's probably why younger me didn't like it. Right? Like, I want to watch Reboot, and I want to watch them go into a game, and like I want to watch like cartoons and like it was very particular. But like adult me likes like character dramas more than just action, right? And I'm like, but nobody's making sexual passes at the redhead of the ship, like on Lax. Unwatchable.
Yeah. Not tuning in next week. That's pretty
The
much
gist
the
of it.
episode. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, and like I had said, though, there is that dramatic conversation. Once things are restored, the power's still out, but they have backup power.
yeah.
Oh, a big part of the danger is that not everything's powered, which is why some doors are locked and there's like redirection. Like
Yeah.
there is survival horror vibes in this episode, and like
Mhm.
limited resources,
Mm-hmm.
like the explosive rounds kind of thing. And I think they split up the, now that I'm thinking, they split up the explosive rounds so that they never had to rely on any one like person, and to feel like everyone could defend themselves, because otherwise you're just walking around with guns that can only hurt people.
Yeah.
Like you can't take
gives
them out with
everyone
normal guns.
It gives everyone at least a fighting chance, right?
That's what I was thinking. So it's kind of about hope rather than just giving like the best shot all the ammo and staying behind him.
Well, and this entire show is very much about survival, just survival in general. That's like they're literally they're being hunted down.
Kind of bleak, yeah.
They're being
I didn't
hunted
realize
down.
that. Yeah, it's not like
and just figuring shit out as they go. That's
and that leaves some that leaves it open for some like mystery, which I enjoy in a space show.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask Cal the ultimate question that we ask each other week in and week out on this podcast. So stay tuned for that.
At the river mouth, the bears catch only the tastiest, most tender salmon, which is exactly what we at John West want. John West endured the worst to bring you the best.
And we're back. Cal, you just caught a truly random episode. Truly random episode of
my hair's
Battlestar,
long.
the Battlestar Galactica reboot from the 2000s. Would you tune in again?
This is a hard one.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here's the thing. Not if I just watched this episode.
People's like fingers are just hovering over the unsubscribe button, just waiting.
Just holding the mouse.
This is a very beloved show.
Yeah. I wouldn't, but here's the thing. I don't know any of the people. I don't care about them. So all the character drama and relationships is like lost on me. Mm-hmm. But I like it when things are serialized and there's an ongoing drama more than I like episodic shows.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were all about the episodic shows.
For me personally, outside of the podcast, I like serialized shows. I like something you can get in and like watch, and it means kind of like less to people like outside of it. Is that good for our podcast where we literally
not necessarily
episodic TV shows inherently will often do better on the Laser Comb podcast.
That is true, yeah.
It's something we've had to take we've had to make peace with. But that being said, everything doesn't exist in a bubble. So I think younger me just catching this episode wouldn't, but there's enough hooks in here. Again, just the episode, boring as fuck, and I don't care about it. I would not tune in again. But there's enough hooks in the overall plot. Nobody's acting wowed me. I never really liked one character, or multiple characters, and Space Above and Beyond. Like, I was like, holy shit, like, I want to watch that. But like, they were telling a huge story crammed into one. Like, we wanted that to be multiple episodes or like a movie in of itself. Or like you could have a whole mini series just on the planet side of
That's
that,
true.
right? This is the opposite, where it's zoomed in, where you build the relationships throughout the multiple seasons. So I will say, even though I liked it less than Space Above and Beyond, it just makes the cut for I will tune in next week. And that's because I do want to watch the mini.
Watch the mini
series.
series and see how you feel about the show after that, because
I think it could grab me with that, and because the macro has grabbed me. What I mean by that is the overall plot of humanity's plight grabs me, even though none of the micro, like the zoomed in interactions with the characters do. And you need to grab me with the overall plot of a space show before you zoom in. And that's why younger me could never get into Deep Space Nine, is because I was like, this is just about a peaceful space station. Like, why do I care about this? Like, what's going on in the greater universe or the greater like world? And that's why something like Voyager or The Next Generation had more of my interest, because it's a bigger picture,
right?
If that makes sense. And so even though the episode, there we go, bleh. Even though the episode didn't grab me, the premise of the show did, and so it just squeaks into I will tune in next week.
Well, there you have it.
I was on the fence there. I rambled a lot. Well, what about yourself?
Yeah, well, I mean, as I mentioned, I stumbled across this show back in like 2007 or so, and then watched it as for the remainder of its run. So I definitely already did tune in next week.
That's fair. Yeah, you didn't even catch this from the beginning.
Yeah. I literally, this was a show I literally caught a random episode of on TV back in the 2000s,
and you were like, "Oh fuck yeah, bud!"
And then decided to start from the beginning and watch through it, and then watched it as the remainder of it as it was airing all the way to the end. I had mixed feelings about the finale, so if you do watch through the show, I will. I would love to talk about that with you someday. But
oh boy,
as for right now, I found season 1 of Battlestar Galactica, including the miniseries, on DVD at a thrift store like 10 years ago or so.
Hell yeah.
For like $4. And it's still it's still sitting on my shelf in my living room.
All of season 1?
All of season 1 and plus the miniseries.
The rare.
Yeah.
Not the blockbuster special where you have disc 1, 2, 4, and 7.
No, this is the whole set. And yeah, it's sitting on my shelf right in front of me. So I think actually tonight I'm gonna I think I'm gonna pop in the DVD of the miniseries and give it a whirl.
You know what? Maybe me too.
Yeah.
And it helps that my partner likes it. So
there you go.
There'll be multiple people watching the miniseries tonight. Perfect.
Well, that was episode 136 of the Lasercomb podcast. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. Starting at the $5 tier, you get access to our bonus weekly Patreon exclusive podcast, the Cal and Siege Super Show. At the $10 tier, you get that, the occasional commentary track, and you can pick a show for us to review a random episode of on this very podcast. So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb. I don't know why I did that.
That's your wrestling persona coming in.
Just hawking Patreon.
Yeah.
Sometimes actually when I'm talking about the podcasts, I'll actually just in conversation, people will be like, "Oh, like, you know, like what are like some skills, like, you know, like what's it like podcasting? What are some skills you picked up?" And I'll just be like, "Welcome back," just in conversation, I'll be like, "Welcome back, Maximals, to episode 135 of Too Much Energon, the podcast where we talk about Beast Wars shit and talk shit about Beast Wars. Coming to you live from a mysterious floating mountain somewhere hidden on planet Energon. I am, as always, once and forever, one of your hosts, Christopher Siege." And people are like, You say that a lot, huh? I'm like, sure do. It's a script that I just have memorized.
I have a very, very particular set of skills.
The intros and
Skills
outros.
that make me a nightmare for men like you.
The intro and outro of all these podcasts we do. It's one of they're just hammered into my brain.
I imagine like 90-year-old Siege, like dementia, and you'll be all like, oh, retardant, maximize, Raptorbot Chronicles, and Beast Wars shit. Oh yeah, okay, Mr. Siege, we'll take you for a shit. Remember the episode with Rhinox was farting? That's right. You have a friend named Rhinox.
You'll be in the retirement home, and the nurse like brings you your food, and you'll be like, Siege, what episode are we watching this week again? Now, I'm not Siege. He's been dead for 20 years, Cal.
I somehow lived to 100. Like, no, we were supposed to start the reboot again. Reboot's been off the air for 70 years, sir.
What's a reboot?
I like that my go-to is still not remembering what episode we're doing.
If you want to interact with us, join the Discord. There's a link in the description of this and every single episode. We will be back next week with a new month, a new theme. Next month is September. September is back to school season. Not for either of us.
Thank God.
But there's a particular programming block that I wanted to do, and one of our Patreon subscribers at the $20 tier wanted us to do. So September feels like the perfect time to do the Disney Afternoon Adventures.
Afternoon Adventures, specifically.
The Disney Afternoon Adventures. It was a programming block that ran from the early to mid 90s that aired from. It was always 4 shows. The shows like kind of rotated like every year, but it was always 4 shows from between 3 and 5 p.m. The Disney Afternoon. And there's a bunch of shows that we could draw from in this pool, but I think we should start off with a banger.
Okay.
We should start off with Let's Get Dangerous.
We're starting off with Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
You know what's weird? That's one of the things where we're always like, why haven't we done that yet?
Well, now we're about to. Other shows that we will probably get to in the from the Disney Afternoon, Goof Troop will definitely be one of them. Probably Tailspin.
Are Tailspin and Goof Troop different enough? Well, yeah. Yeah, they are. One's about ducks.
Yeah, they're completely
One's
different
about
shows.
goofs. Yeah.
No, Tailspin was Baloo. Baloo and Kid Cloudkicker.
Right. Yeah. Did you ever watch the Raccoons?
I did, yeah. We've talked.
I know
about
that's
the
not
Raccoons
part
before.
of the. Yeah.
Wait,
did we cover that?
No, not yet. It's
We've
on the
done
list.
so many episodes, people. You can't expect me to remember like 100-something shows.
Maybe. I think another kids programming block I'd like to do at some point is the YTV After School Zone.
Oh, that
Zone.
one.
Yeah, and we could probably throw the Raccoons in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably another one. I don't know how to describe it more so than Sunday morning cartoons.
Sunday morning cartoons were fucking abysmal. I hated Sundays when I was a kid.
That's fair. Or before school cartoons or shows.
Those could be good. Beast
so much
Wars
so
was
that
on. Beast Wars was on before school.
Right?
So to find out what episode of Darkwing Duck we're going to watch, I'm going to hit screen share.
Aladdin was a cartoon that was on before. But I never woke up early enough to catch the beginning.
Yeah, why would you want to? How many episodes of Darkwing Duck are there? There were 3 seasons. There were 91 episodes. So, I'm going to go to the random number generator. One random number between 1 and 91, and let's get dangerous. 86.
Hell yeah.
Right near the fucking end.
We're going.
Hot spells.
Oh, dang.
Darkwing and Goslin go with Morgana to her old magic school where she is to present her thesis paper. Huh. Ooh, Morgana. Sweet.
Ooh.
Oh my.
The original. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is she a goth MILF
She sure
of the
is.
Duck World? Yeah. Okay.
She sure is. She's a character in that DuckTales reboot too. In fact, I think the episode that
she was in the
aired,
episode
she was in
we
it.
watched.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll be back next week with that. And until then, I have been the youngest man alive, Christopher Siege.
And I'm NeoCal.
Thanks for listening. We will get dangerous with you next time.
Look for the duck necessity.
Yeah, not only
right.
did I cut my hair, I actually bought like a whole bunch of new clothing, kind of changing up my look a little bit.
Oh shit. Yeah, I noticed. I was like, whoa, we got a new man here.
A new man, so to speak.
New man, so to speak. Unplugged.
I'm wearing, I'm got some like, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of dressing just like a regular dude now. I don't know. I'm wearing just like a plain t-shirt from like Mark's Work Warehouse. It's really nice.
I know I wasn't gonna say anything before, but here we are.
And yeah, I'm wearing and they're super comfy, but like Gooner pants. No, they're like cargo like sweatpants.
Cargo sweatpants, very nice. Gooner pants, if you will.
Yeah. Gooner pants. When I just when I just can't wait until I get home to goon. I just, can just reach into my pocket.
You can just reach into your pocket and you know what? As a member of the Union of Goons, a Goonian, if you will.
A goonian.
I tend to loathe the modern usage of the term goon. It's hard enough to find work. And henchmen, that's a slur. We prefer to be called goons or thugs.
See, when
Goonian.
Goonian. See, when I think of the word goon, I think of
Legend of the Dragoon.
Right. I was gonna say the hockey movie, The Goon, but okay.
For a brief while, a goon was somebody you went in just to. You okay? There's our cold. There's our cold open.